What's going on, guys? It's Swimzyy here, and in today's Warframe video, we're just going to have a look at what Baro has brought for this rotation, and we're just going to see what he's brought, and if anything is worth it or not. If you did like this video, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. All of that good stuff helps me out, and let's get into the video. Today is the 9th of February 2024, and Baro is currently located on the Strata Relay on Earth. First off, we have the Jarvi genome scrolling. This genome scrolling is based on Drusus Leverian's records of Lavos, so it's another lore-based item. So with this scrolling, there is actually some lore behind it, and if you want to go see that lore, just go to the Lavos Leverian, and you'll be able to check that out. But obviously, this is a decoration for your dojo/orbiter. So if you do want this, you can pick it up right now. I would not recommend picking this up unless you are heavily invested in Warframe's lore. I just don't see the point in having this. Next, we have Primed Point Blank, plus 165% damage for shotguns. This mod is an amazing mod for if you want to beef out some shotguns and deal a lot more damage. Since this is a primed mod, I would highly recommend you actually pick this up. But overall, this mod is very good for dealing extra damage for shotguns. Next, we have Tempo Royale, a heavy blade stance mod. You do a lot of sweeping strikes and twisting slashes, but it is very quick to use. So if you do need a heavy blade stance, I would recommend picking this mod up because it is a good starting stance. Next, we have Primed Regen. Sentinel recovery time reduces by 35 seconds, revives with 10 seconds of invulnerability. This honestly wasn't that good until they made the Sentinel rework. Instead of just them dying, they actually come back to life within a certain time, and if you run this mod maxed out, you reduce that time by 35 seconds. Also, that 10 seconds of invulnerability could be pretty useful. I'm not going to say it is the most useful thing, but this is a primed mod as well, so I don't have it right now, but I will be trying to pick that up. I would recommend picking this mod up because you never know if it's going to help or not. Next, we have the Baro Glyph. Overall, this is just a glyph, so I mean, if you do want it, you can pick it up, but it doesn't really help you out at all. It's mainly for decoration. Next, we have Primed Bane of Corpus, times 1.55 damage to Corpus for rifles. I'm not a big fan of using Bane mods to deal a lot of damage, but this mod allows you to deal extra damage to the Corpus faction, so if you're having a hard time with the Corpus faction, you could always equip a Bane mod, especially this mod on the rifles, and you'll deal more damage to that certain faction. Now, because this is only damage to Corpus, you will not deal extra damage to other factions. There are other primed Bane mods, of course, for those different factions, but I would recommend picking this up because it is a primed mod, of course, and it can help you out in the long run. Next, we have the Harkonnen Wraith leg armor. We have the Harkonnen Wraith arm armor, and the Harkonnen Wraith chest armor. This armor set isn't that bad at all. If I had to rate the pieces of this set in order, I would rate the chest plate first, then the leg armor, and then the arm armor. Just because the arm armor doesn't actually look that good because there are two different types of armor for each arm compared to the legs, which are the same. These look pretty funny as well, but I would prefer these over the arm armor. And this chest plate doesn't actually look too bad. Then we have the Teer Atmos earpiece. I'm not a big fan of it because, I don't know, just there's other alternatives that are better out there. The price is also very expensive, so I would stay away from this earpiece if I was you. Then we have the Harkonnen Wraith cloak. It's not really so much of a cloak, but yeah, it is a Syndana for your Warframes. It does have a little bit of movement physics in there, but I'm not a big fan of it. It doesn't really bring much value to the table, but if you do like it, obviously you can pick it up right now. Then we have the Ignis Wraith. Now, this Ignis Wraith is better than the standard Ignis, and let me tell you, this is probably one of the best weapons ever to use. It is a flamethrower, so the noise is very loud, but a 200 magazine capacity, you deal a lot of critical chance and status chance damage, and you also have base heat, so you can make either gas, blast, or any other type of element you really want. It is very good for easily spreading status effects. Now, if you do want mastery from this weapon, and that's all you're going to be using it for, then obviously pick it up because it does give mastery. I would highly recommend that you get this weapon, just because it is very good. Moving on, we have the Nexus Gene Masking Kit. You can just get more colors for your Kavat. Obviously, you have a white, red, blue, and purple. It doesn't look too bad, but I like sticking with my normal colors for my Kavats. So this is just personal preference. If you do want this, then you can pick it up. It will not affect your gameplay, but it will make your Kavat look cooler. Then we have the Noggle statue, which is Excalibur with the Odonata. This is just a statue, so it's not going to improve your gameplay whatsoever. A nice decoration, so yeah, the choice is yours if you want this or not. It is very cheap, so I would recommend. Even if you want some cinematic shots, this will definitely help out. Next, we have the Orokin Tower extraction scene. It's just the extraction scene from the Void missions. It is a very good scene to use in Captura because of the gold outlines and all of the Void type stuff. And if you're a YouTuber like me, then I would recommend you pick this up just so you can get some Captura scenery. Next, we have the Prisma Kubro glyph. It is just a glyph of a Prisma Kubro. It's got a nice geometric tone to it. There's a lot of shapes to actually create the Kubro effect, and you only use it for personal preference. Next, we have the Lotus Ephemera, which is a pretty decent ephemera. You can barely see it actually, but they are lotus plants. I would recommend picking this up because it is a nice decorative ephemera. Actually run this on my Harrow because it does look very good. Next, we have the Machete Psychid skin. Now, I'm not going to lie, the machete doesn't get used that often, and this skin doesn't make it look like the machete at all, but if you do like it, then it is available for this week. It is somewhat unique. I still wouldn't pick this up because it is a skin. If it was a weapon, it'd be a different story, but yeah, there's only so much you can do with a skin. Then we have the Deimos Velocipod Prex. Now, I don't really collect Prex cards, but this card is one of the better cards to collect, just because you have the Velocipod and Nidus riding it, which I think is kind of cool. Next, we have the Tanukai Longsword skin. It doesn't look that good if I'm being honest, but apparently I already have this. I think I got it for free. If you didn't get it for free, then you could get it for this week, but this doesn't even look like a sword. It looks like a stick. So, yeah, the choice is yours if you do want this or not. Next, we have the Renala Sugatra, this little melee dangly here. Overall, it gives some decoration to your weapons. I'm not going to say it looks the best, because it literally just looks like a feather. But, yeah, if you do like it, it is available as well. Then we have the Aged Claret of Dinas. Now, I'm guessing this is a lore-based item. A claret with notes of golden sunlight. The Levirian's history of the Warframe Ash brings into question whether blood runs thicker than fine wine. So I'm not sure if this is wine or if it's blood, but yeah, it is a ash-based lore decoration item. It doesn't look that bad. It's got a nice gold trim. Obviously, there's some sort of liquid in the cup, but if you do like lore or just want to pick this up for decorations, then you can right now. Next, we have the Teer Striad Sindana. I wouldn't even call this a Sindana because it literally has like no value. I'm not a big fan of this because of the size. I wish it was a little bit bigger, and it is a bit too bulky for me, but if you do like it, then you can actually get it for this week. Next, we have the Prisma Oma, which is actually a decent weapon, and it's fairly new. The Prisma Oma are electrified tonfas, and they remind me of the Cronin Prime. They are actually pretty decent. They deal base electricity as well, so you can change that element or you can keep electricity. It deals a lot of crit chance, a lot of status chance, and it actually is pretty fast. Now, if you need mastery, then pick these up because they are a pretty good weapon overall, and they will give you mastery rank. But if you want to test them out, there are a few good builds on YouTube with this weapon. Second to last, we have the Feypath Ephemera, an Autumn Leaf Ephemera that is very cheap. I would recommend picking this up because even though it isn't the best ephemera, it is actually pretty decent for the price. And yeah, the autumn leaves actually are animated, they float up, they look good. I would recommend picking this up if you are a new player or if you don't have it yet. Finally, we have the Sands of Anaris blueprint, the blueprint to start the Sands of Anaris quest. This quest is absolutely phenomenal, and you need to complete this to progress through the game, so I would highly recommend you pick this up. This is how you get it. Only Baro sells it, so once he's gone, you have to wait another 2 weeks, which does suck. But once you pick this up and build it, you'll be able to start the Sands of Anaris quest to get the Warframe Anaris. So that is everything Baro is selling for this week. Please let me know down below your favorite item that he's brought. For me, it would have to be either the Ignis Wraith or the primed point blank. The Ignis Wraith is a fantastic weapon. I would highly recommend you pick this up. And also the prime point blank, that does so much damage for your shotguns, it is actually ridiculous. Thank you all so much for watching. If you did like this video, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. Thank you all so much for watching. If there's anything you want me to improve on, anything you want to see in future videos, then please let me know down below. That being said, have an amazing day. It's been Swim, guys. Later.